You already know the studio is about to explode.
Big boy, stop yourself protecting him.
This reaction will have you on the edge of your seat.
Got delay.
But he's only leaning into him. But that's the goalkeeper. You can't baby.
And if you just saw the result, you might say, same as last season. But if you see the performance, did that feel like progress? Did it feel like a stride forward?
I'm really proud of the guys. I think they were really brave in everything they did during the game. So the performance, congratulations for the performance, not congratulations because we lost the game at home. I think we deserve clearly a different result, and we need to move forward to the next one.
So what did you like about the performance? What did you do well that gave you control in large parts of the match?
We were more aggressive than last year. We sprint more. We were more brave. We let one against one all the game. We press high, and then with the ball we had quality. Even when the stadium makes some sounds, we continue to play the way we play. We lost fewer balls in the build-up compared to last year. We struggle a lot, and then the small things that we talk about in the beginning of this season, that players like Cunha, like Brian, in one moment can elevate the stadium. So I think the most important thing, we were not boring.
No, you weren't boring. So Mbeumo and Cunha, even though they weren't able to get on the score sheet today, did you feel like compared to last season, they gave you a threat, even in moments where maybe Arsenal were on top in the game?
Yeah, you always feel in the game that they can do something and they can push the team, not just with the ball but without the ball. They press really well. They are working really hard. Again, I'm proud for the game that they played, everybody, but we lost and we need to work on different things.
Yeah. Did the reaction of the fans at full time actually tell you something? Did that tell you that I think they quite liked what they saw?
Even during the game, but again, we need to win games, but that was a completely different game from last season.
Okay. What did you make of the goal you conceded?
It's more or less the same that happened sometimes. It happened last year. For me, it's not playing the ball. It's protecting the guys that they are attacking. I understand that we want goals, but when you touch in the goalkeeper in that way, I think it's hard. And especially to lose with a goal like this, I think it's hard.
What would you say to your goalkeeper then? What, bad luck, that was a foul, or does he have to be stronger in that instance?
It's hard to be strong when you have to push and to go for the ball. Sometimes you are pushing and then you don't have more hands to go for the ball. We need to be stronger in that moment, but especially we need to do the same thing in the opposite side. So we are not changing the rules. We have to adapt to the rules. And today it's hard to accept because I think we were the better team.
Okay. Lastly then, how do you see that goalkeeper situation moving forward? Bindier was obviously in goal today. You've got Tom Heaton and Arnon not in the squad at all. Is that a fight between the three of them in the last few weeks of the transfer window? Would you like to add a goalkeeper?
No, it's we have players to win any game of Premier League. We need to focus. Forget about the noise. We are fighting for the places. That is a good thing, but we are playing as a team. Doesn't matter who is playing. We want to win games.
Thank you.
Arteta, they got the job done after that early goal here at Old Trafford. Roy Keane, how significant do you think that victory is?
It's an important start for him, with the other teams doing so well over the weekend. Wasn't great the second half. I thought you lacked quality, particularly even from Arsenal's point of view. But you take a win on the first day of the season and you move on to obviously a home game next week to Leeds. They'll fancy themselves in that match. But overall, I think the game was poor second half. The expectations at United now is so low that even when Gary was talking a commentary, everyone's even comfortable with 1-0 defeat. You know, you've got to do better again.
Does that trouble you?
It does worry me, yeah. Even there was obviously the couple of the new signings, a lot of encouragement with that. And they're getting you up the pitch and there's a bit more power. You think obviously results will improve. It's always tough against Arsenal, but again, no goal, another defeat, first day of the season. So yeah, still problems there with United, and then we see it obviously with the goal in terms of set piece, physicality, determination to get a result. Your goalkeeper really not doing well enough, not being strong enough. So yeah, there's still that worry. I had it before the match, encouragement from some of the attacking players, but
what was your main worry before the game?
I still think that I suppose what we saw again, not for all the bit of encouragement, hitting the post and keeper making saves, not you never felt United had 2 or 3 goals in them. And even Arsenal getting the 1 goal, obviously Arsenal, I think that's a worry when I see what Arsenal are doing. You wonder why Arsenal are just coming up short, because they're still happy enough to kind of sit in at 1-0. And then you go, is that the reason you drew so many games last year? You know, if we're comparing them to a Man City or a Liverpool, they're always thinking, let's go and get the second goal. Even on a bad day with Liverpool, you think they'll score 2 or 3 goals. So that's the challenge for Arsenal. But for the first day of the season, obviously their sharpness will improve. Like Saka, Odegaard, Rice, I think there's a lot more to come from them. But of course, you take a win on the first day of the season and a clean sheet.
United had their moments, didn't they? But did you ever feel that Arsenal were vulnerable or they were going to concede?
Yeah, I did. And Burma was in some great positions, and you know, if you're thinking he makes the perfect connection on the ball, it's a goal. You know, the keeper made some good saves. They showed a different side to Arsenal that we haven't seen, which is that they were a lot more open in those central areas. They found a lot of joy down the right-hand side with Mbeumo, especially in the first half. And I think all in all, Man United's attack will go away thinking to themselves, on another day I could have left scoring 1 or 2 today. That's how I would have felt. Certainly if I was in Burma, I'd be going to bed thinking, wow, I should have left with 1 today. So I think they're going to take confidence from their performance, Man United, but in the end, the result's all that matters, and Arsenal will leave going to London buzzing with themselves saying, look, we didn't perform to our best today, but we're going on with the 3 points.
As you said, Micah, before the game, if your ultimate goal is to win the title, you have to win here.
Yeah, and they won it, and it wasn't pretty at times, as the guys have said, but it's how much you can dig deep. And I think with Arsenal, what's helped them sort of stay in the fight for the title of the previous seasons, when they get into that low block, they're very difficult to break down. Adding the set pieces, and they're a good side. I would just like to see them be a little bit more brave. And I'm not just talking about today, I'm talking about previous games as well. But how to start a season, to come to Old Trafford and get the 3 points, you can't ask for much more than that, especially when your players are not fit at this moment in time.
And probably predictable, the source of the goal, because we know Arsenal are so good from set pieces, and here they were, their first corner of this new season, and you saw Manchester United in disarray trying to deal with it.
Yeah, again, good delivery. We know Arsenal are big and strong and they vary it. But if you stop it where it goes in, where the ball ends up, the goalkeeper, that's your keeper's job. So for all the blocking and the advantage and the goalkeeper, that's his area. He has to be, I always say, he has to come with violence. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to be almost saying to players, yeah, come in here, I'm happy to deal with it. And you've got to be aggressive. But look, he's not strong enough.
You agree, Daniel, he can do more?
Look at him, he's appealing to the referee. Don't be appealing to the referee. So, lads, look, he's on his heels. If a player comes into your area, you go, yeah, you come in, you invite him, because I'm going to hopefully punch the ball and I'll take you with it. Far too easy. It's like, you wouldn't see it's like schoolboy stuff.
We'd seen it before from Hampton last season against Spurs in the Carabao Cup, so the warning was there.
And that's part of the goalkeeper's job. We talk about shot stopping, but that's about taking command of your area and also letting your own defenders know, going, lads, if it does come into this area where it came into, first of all, I've got it. Listen, if something else happens to that, we'll react to it. But if that comes into me, I am favourite for it. I am going to be favourite. He's 6'2", 6'3", and he ends up on his heels and you're getting bullied. Why don't you bully the other lads? Why don't you come and punch it and go, if you come near me, hey, listen, I'll take your head off as well, it's no problem. But they're all a bit, referee, no, don't look at the referee. Take control of it. It's like a weakness to it, physically and mentally. And especially on an in-swinger, you must know that when it's an in-swinger, it'll always be coming towards me. Out-swinger is slightly different. You think, well, I want to be careful. I don't want to be drawn out to it and getting dragged into bodies. But when it's coming in on top of you, you go, hey, happy days.
By contrast, did we see, through David Raya, the example of that positive goalkeeper who's going to make sure it doesn't cause him problems because he's going to deal with it?
Yeah, I mean, the conviction in it is there, his experience and
similar
confidence.
situation, isn't it, really?
But if you look on there, who's he got defending him a little bit more? He's got Gabriel, where on the other side, it was Mount. So if you look at the balance between Saliba and Mount at the time, he's getting ragdolled everywhere. I just thought De Ligt could have come inside and Mount could have gone outside. But in terms of the goalkeeper making that decisive decision, it was a really good punch. But if you just look here, Mount and Saliba, it's difficult. I agree with Roy. Bender should have done a lot better.
Saliba
but when
doesn't
you've
do
got
much,
bodies
Micah.
in front of you,
Saliba's not even. He should sleep. But look at the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's not even aware of him. Goalkeeper's on his heels, and now he starts moving. He should be on his toes, bouncing, going, "No, you're going to come in here and be a nuisance." Saliba's doing very little to him. Do you know what he's doing? No, but he's lean. He's only leaning into him.
The job of that player in that role there is to protect the goalkeeper so he can come and punch it. There's a lot of chaos going on within that.
Micah, this is big boy stuff. You're saying protect him.
But you've got delay.
Yeah, but there's going to be mismatch. If your team, if they've got players, a lot more players bigger than your lads, you're going to be outmatched somewhere.
But not in the centre of
no, but
the goal.
But if it comes there,
it's come to the.
But he's only leaning into him. But that's the goalkeeper. You can't babysit a goalkeeper.
I agree with you that the goalkeeper should definitely do better. But I also believe he can be
the last player you wanted there
is that, Micah, a little bit to do with the smartness of Arsenal's routine that they sort of eliminate Manchester United's best aerial defenders in that situation?
What they do, why I believe De Ligt was at the far point post, because Arsenal sometimes have all the players start at the front and then go to the back, so they must have thought the ball was going to the back post. That was the reason I believe De Ligt was there. But unfortunately, Rice, we've not talked about Rice's delivery. It's on a sixpence, absolutely brilliant, where it's in the centre of the goal, and that's where you want your strong centre half to help out the goalkeeper.
You say that, right? But they've got Casemiro, a big defensive midfielder, and Euro, who's another centre half. I totally agree with De Ligt being at the back post. Are there best markers on people? Only the manager knows that. What I will say is I've done the role of Saliba in this situation, and it does seem as if he is getting the better of Mount, but I'm not going to say it's Mount's fault, because in the end, when you're on the football pitch, right, what do you want? You want one thing, it's your goalkeeper to come and clear everybody out.
Any question that he's fouled there?
No.
I wouldn't say so.
You know, you should go and play chess then, shouldn't you? Come on.
Do you think?
Part of the game we love is the obviously physicality of football. Listen, we're all getting fed up with fouls, but if a goalkeeper's going to be doing this to the referee, going, like, the Arsenal lads must be looking at this goalkeeper going, there's a weakness. There must be a weakness to that side of his game, obviously.
Or is it?
Was that actually a foul? Or should the keeper have stood out stronger? I want to hear what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more reactions like this.